don't think I ever noticed.
You're so young. When you're old, night comes too soon. Always. And you seem troubled.
It's my mother.
Oh.
She had to have an operation.
Oh, my dear. Tell me.
Well, she's so tired and the train's so crowded, there's no room for her to lie down. You see, we're second class.
And here I am alone in this whole compartment. Oh, you must bring her here.
Could I?
Of course.
It's all been rather difficult. I mean, with the Sahib, too. That's my father. He can't help much. He was gassed, you know, in the war.
Oh, you must bring him, too.
Oh, may I really?
Of course.
That's awfully good of you.
Oh, it's good of you to trust me. It's so rarely we have the privilege of helping one another.
You try to look hungry, Rick. She may take the hint.
You mean to say I don't look hungry?
Oh, dear. What kind of an operation did I have?
Any kind you like, but don't offer to show the scar.
Don't you think Mommy ought to lean on me? It makes me nicer.
All right. And you were gassed in the war, you know, Sahib.
I imagine I sort of wheezed.
Here we are. Now, don't overplay your hands, any of you.
Trust me, my dear.
You are. I don't know you. Do I?
I'm a new friend. My name is Fortune, Miss Ellen Fortune.
Miss Fortune?
Silly name, isn't it? Everybody makes jokes about it. I do myself.
Fine historic name, not a subject for jesting. Allow me to introduce my wife, ma'am. My daughter.
I know.
My son. And your servant, Colonel Anthony Carlton, late of the Bengal Lancers.
The Bengal Lancers. How splendid.
And yet the wretched government refuses him a pension and lets his family starve. If only he hadn't gone back to the war after that dreadful wound.
Gas, Mommy. Gas.
Yes.
Gas, too, of course. Don't be absurd, Georgianne. Did you think I had forgotten? If I have a breath left to give my country, he used to say. He's never been right since.
And then your operation, on top of everything.
Yes, and so expensive, too. But they would take me to the Riviera.
Now, Mommy, you know it isn't good for you to talk so much. Don't overdo it.
It meant selling our little house, and poor Richard's coming down from Oxford, the most brilliant man of his year, they said. Didn't they, darling?
I don't care what they said. I don't care that for Oxford, just as long as you're all right, Mommy.
If you could only force yourself to eat something, Mommy.
In Little Women, the children call their mother Mommy.
I think the name does suit me. I don't know where the absurd children got it. Sahib, of course, means genteel in India. The children were born there, poor darlings, somewhere in the Himalayas. A dreadful place, what with the ayahs and the whatnots howling around in the whatever you call them.
Mommy, are you sure you couldn't force yourself to eat something?
Oh, no, it would choke me. I'm sure it would.
Oh.
Would it help if I ate something with you?
It might. I'd do anything to please you, dear boy.
I think we should all make the effort. If Mommy should see us all eating, it might tempt her. Of course, you'll be our guest, ma'am.
Oh, no, no, please. This is my compartment. I insist you must be my guest. So often I've tried to imagine parties like this when I might be with friends, celebrating with them on birthdays. My little girl's going to have a birthday this year. Let's say it's her birthday now, tonight.
Just 20-odd years ago today, somewhere in dear old Ireland,
If I had thought 20-odd years ago that my little girl would come out in a French railway carriage...
You're pretending it's a birthday.
If I had pretended 20-odd years ago that my little girl would be born in a French railway carriage,
Can I help you, darling?
If I had pretended 20-odd years ago that I would give birth to a little French railway carriage, egad, I'd have shot myself.
You must forgive the Sahib. He lives in a little world all his own.
What fun. You're all so young in heart. Like John Dickey.
Won't you have some champagne with us, Miss Fortune?
What a shame. Oh, forgive me. I was just thinking of the hundreds of bottles in the big house at home. Just gathering dust.
Really, ma'am?
Hundreds of bottles?
There, I'm not going to think of that lonely old house now. This is the first real party I've ever had. All my life, I've had to live quite simply. And now that I have money enough to do everything I want, I really don't quite know how to start.
And you're traveling alone, ma'am?
Yes, I'm quite alone. Oh, I've seen many lovely things on this little jaunt, but I've had to see them alone. And after all, we see them best, really, through the eyes of those we love. Wasn't it Rossetti who said something like that somewhere? Beauty, without the beloved, is a sword through the heart.
Why, I don't remember.
So you see, this has been a rather sad journey until now. You've made this my happiest day.
Delighted. Pleasure's all ours, my dear lady. I raise my glass for the first time in my life, gladly, to Miss Fortune.
The train seems to have caught on fire. I wouldn't lie around in there too long if I were you. Come on. No.
Where is she?
She's dead.
She isn't dead. Well, I don't think she's even hurt.
I thought for a moment. Poor old girl. Come on, let's get her out of here.
Can you carry her?
Give me a hand.
Sure you're not hurt, my dear?
I don't think so, Sahib. I don't know how you're supposed to feel after a train wreck.
Cold wind.
Rather.
See if you can find some whiskey for her.
Keep her warm until I get back.
Now, I'll probably die of pneumonia.
Where have you been? Are you all right? How did you get out?
On my 2 feet, they're very adequate.
I've hunted through the whole train for you, if anything had happened. What have you got there?
This is an old lady.
You're being very good to her.
I'm not. I'm I'm trying to keep warm.
You've given her your coat.
What of it?
Well, you'd be warmer if you'd kept it yourself.
Will you stop trying to make me something I'm not? And will you please get out of here?
Why?
Now, let me tell it to you, Duncan, and tell it to you fast. I'm up to no good and you're just interfering. Get out and leave me alone, once and for all.
Aye, once and for all. The relief train will be here soon. I'm glad you're safe.
The old girl doesn't cough up something after all we've done for her, I shall lose my faith in human nature.
We've been very kind to her. We've eaten all our meals with her and everything. Oh, I shall miss you all so much. It isn't only that you saved my life. You've all been so wonderful to me.
But it'll be nice for you to get back to your lovely big home and see all your friends again.
I haven't any friends or relatives, Georgianne. They're all gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. But didn't I hear you mention a Mr. Dickey?
John Dickey, yes. In America once, when I was a young girl, a long time ago, Georgianne, I was engaged to John Dickey. Oh, Georgianne, I was so young. I hadn't learned the meaning of faith. One day someone told me John Dickey loved someone else. We quarreled, and I spent my whole life regretting that quarrel, hoping that sometime, some way, I would hear from him again. And when I did, it was to learn that he'd gone to England, made a fortune, and died alone, leaving everything to me. Oh, Georgianne, one must have faith in the people one loves. One must have faith or go through life alone.
I'm sorry you're so alone.
Georgianne,
Yes, Sahib?
it'll be in port in a few minutes, my dear. You'd better finish whatever you have to do.
Well, I wish there was some way we could see you sometimes in London.
Georgianne. Oh, no, you couldn't. That lonely old house. Georgianne, you couldn't come and stay with me, all of you, and be my guests for a little while?
Well, I don't know what the Sahib would think. He hates so to impose on people.
But it wouldn't be imposing.
I'll ask him. I'll try to persuade him. I'd love to come, just to be with you.
Miss Fortune, it's good to see you.
Mr. Anstruther, how nice of you to be here.
Not at all, Miss Fortune. It's a great pleasure to have you back, safe and well.
This is Mr. Felix Anstruther, Mr. Dickey's friend and lawyer, and mine. These are my friends, the Carltons. These children saved my life in the wreck.
I'm sure I'm most grateful to them for that.
And now, they've promised to stay here with me just as long as they can.
Really? Here in this house?
Miss Fortune seemed lonely, and we thought we might stay with her a few days.
That's very considerate of you, I'm sure. Now I'm afraid I must leave for my train.
Well, well. Where are you off to?
Paris first.
I was thinking I might need a lawyer myself pretty soon to manage my affairs. Perhaps on your return.
I shall be very happy, Colonel Carlton, to look into your affairs as soon as I return. Good day, Miss Fortune. I'm very sorry indeed that my business takes me away at this time.
I'll see Mr. Anstruther to the door.
Perhaps you could have a hand or two of poker when you come back. Bon voyage.
Rick, wake up.
No way.
Don't be stubborn, Rick. Wake up.
Are we packing again?
No, I've been thinking and I have everything worked out.
Did you work out what happened to the top of my pajamas?
Shut up, Rick. I have an idea.
Oh. Why don't you sit down, Mommy?
Oh,
Oh, I thought I was.
Now listen, we've been planning on staying here for a couple of weeks. But where do we go then?